Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're actually going to be doing a base game build because we recently, and I say recently very loosely because at this point it's been about, I don't know, maybe like a week, almost 2 weeks since we got this update. But we recently got a new update to the base game where they added over 1,000 different swatches to about 150 different items in the base game. So everything from like windows, some of the base game kitchen counters, some of the like tables and all of that kind of stuff. Even a few decorative things have gotten a bunch of new like color options added to them. So yeah, I wanted to do something base game to try and experiment a little bit with all of those new swatches and just do something base game because I haven't done something that was exclusively base game for months at this point. It's not something that I do all that often. So yeah, we're actually going to be building a contemporary base game home, and yeah, I just named it a contemporary base game home because I didn't want to call it a mid-century base game home. But basically it's kind of in the style of a lot of the builds that are already in Oasis Springs because that's where we're building this. And I wanted to do something a little bit more modern, I guess, modern, contemporary, because whenever I do base game builds, I tend to go for very, like, suburban styles, because that's just something that's just a style that works really well with a lot of the base game items. So yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit different and try and build something a little bit more modern or contemporary. And also because I really knew that I wanted to use these specific counters. So those are the like super cheap base game counters, and they're actually kind of what inspired this whole build. So yeah, I basically built something in this style because I wanted to use those specific counters because they actually got a lot of new colors added to them, and they're probably some of my favorite counters in the game now after they've gotten all of those new color swatches. But yeah, we'll get a little bit more into all of like the color swatches and what I decided to do on the interior a little bit later on. But first off, I do just want to mention that I am recording this while I'm very tired. Now, I feel like I say this in like every single video or like every second video that I do because I am just perpetually tired these days. But I do want to mention that because I can be very rambly and like talkative when I'm tired. And a lot of the time I'll just talk a bunch of crap and it will make no sense and I will lose my train of thought every second sentence. So just be prepared for that. I'm sorry if this voiceover is very chaotic, but that's just what we're working with today because I really want to get this voiceover done because I really want to share this build. Like, I've had this build, by the time I'm doing this voiceover, I've been working on this build for about 3 days. I worked on it off and on for about 3 days, and I had just under 4 hours of footage that I had to edit, which is why this video is also a lot longer than my usual speed builds. And considering that it's only a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house and it's base game, it took me a very long time. I don't know why it took me this long. I mean, technically I kind of know why it took me this long, but that's just, I'll get into that later. But yeah, so I really want to share this build. I'm really looking forward to sharing it with all of you and everything like that. I've been talking about it on Twitter and on Instagram for days now. So yeah, I really wanted to share it. So that's why I really want to do this voiceover, even though I'm super tired. So we're just going to have to deal with the fact that I'm tired and rambly and move on from that. But yeah, so back to why this build actually took me about 4 hours to do is because I was really inspired by a lot of the amazing base game builds I've been seeing Julia builds do recently. And I know I saw some other people, Miss Simrino being one of them, doing some really cool base game builds recently as well. And they really inspired me to try and do something a bit different. Now, I say different in the sense that whenever I do base game homes, they tend to be just a variation of mostly the same thing. Like I said, I tend to do very suburban base game homes and they tend to all look very similar on the inside because the base game is rather limited in, you know, the style of items that we have, the swatches and everything like that, as well as clutter and just decorations, like overall. And as you know, I'm someone that loves to decorate. I love plants and clutter and everything like that in my builds. So whenever I do base game builds, I tend to reuse a lot of the same items. Now, because I've been watching a lot of Miss Simrino and Julia Builds' recent builds, I was really inspired to try and do something a little bit different with this build, and I wanted to experiment a little bit more with the tool mod and just creating my own custom furniture. So you'll see that I do a lot of built-in units. I actually use the counters from this kitchen set, not the counters, the cabinets. I actually end up using the cabinets from this kitchen set in a bunch of different places throughout the house. I end up using it in both of the bedrooms. I end up using it in the office as well. And yeah, I loved using those those counters and cabinets throughout the build. But basically I wanted to use them to kind of create some built-in units. So I'll be creating a like built-in TV, like console unit thing in the living room. I end up doing a kind of built-in, I don't know, dresser slash headboard kind of thing in the master bedroom. I also end up using some of the cabinets as the headboard in the teens bedroom. I actually end up using it as a little built-in, I guess, bookcase storage closet kind of thing in the study. And yeah, I overuse those kitchen cabinets everywhere throughout this build. And like I said, I wanted to do some different things. I wanted to experiment with making some of the items and taking some of the items and turning them into stuff that I wouldn't normally do, stuff that they weren't actually meant to be used as, like I'm doing in the entryway, where I actually lowered down that console table that we got in another base game update that was actually created by Peacemaker. I actually lowered that down to make it look like it's actually just a bunch of like drawers on the like floor basically, and then I use those base game chairs to kind of make it look like a little built-in seating ottoman kind of thing, so your Sims can go ahead, sit there, change, like take off their shoes or whatever when they come into the house, stuff like that. Just using items in different ways that I haven't used them before, and you know, playing around with the tool mod, lowering, raising items, all of that stuff. I also played around with that a lot in the master bedroom as well. You'll see what I did with the master bedroom. I actually did something I've never done before, and I used a debug. Yeah, it's like a debug foundation for a house. So kind of those houses that you'll see in the neighborhood, they're like foundation pieces that you can get in the live edit objects menu. And basically I used one of those I basically sized it down, put it underneath the bed and put the bed on top, but then lowered the bed down into the like foundation bit. So it kind of looks like a more modern, almost platform bed kind of thing. And that totally works. I did playtest both of the sides of the bed. Your Sims can get to both sides, they can use the bed and everything like that. So it all works. But it looked really, really cool, and I've wanted to do something like that for so long. I just never thought it would work and be functional, but it actually is. And I think everything else in this house is functional as well. I mean, everything else should work. I didn't mess around with too much else, you know, that could be blocking stuff. Also, the like study, you'll see in the office study place whatever you want to call it. But basically in there you'll see that I did something really cool with the desk as well. I actually ended up using some sized up shelves as a desk, and then I put a computer on a dining table and used the tool mod to size the dining table down so much that it's basically invisible. So you can't see the dining table, but the computer obviously is still snapped to it, so it's still usable. And then I used the sized up shelves to kind of make it look like a more modern built-in like desk area combined with some bookcases. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're still in the kitchen and I'm already talking about the study. But anyway, I just wanted to mention all of those things because whenever I do these voiceovers and there's something that specific about the build that I want to mention, I'll usually forget about it because I end up talking about a bunch of random nonsense somewhere through the build, and then I never actually mention what I wanted to about the build. So yeah, I thought I would mention that right off the bat so that it is out there and you know. So yeah, basically this whole house is playtested, everything works, and it's all base game. It's all base game and the free holiday update, which, you know, I technically count as base game because everyone has access to it. You just have to go into Origin and download it. So yeah, I only used a few of the clutter items from that pack. But yeah, that's basically everything about the build, I think. If you want to download it, it is up on the gallery already. It's up on the gallery under my gallery ID, which is ChrissieYT. All of that information is also down in the description, and I'll also have in the description a link to the online gallery website if you want to download it that way. And of course, the tray files will be up on the community tab for channel members. So if you want to grab the tray files, that's how you can do that. But yeah, that's basically everything about the build, I think. I mean, it's about 153-ish thousand simoleons. Like I said, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So there's a big master bathroom and a smaller family / guest bathroom. That I actually didn't include in the video. By the way, I actually didn't include those 2 bathrooms because, like I said, I had like 4 hours of footage and I didn't want to do a 35-minute voiceover. So I ended up cutting out both of the bathrooms, but I do include pictures of them at the end for the screenshots. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you want to see the bathrooms for whatever weird reason. But yeah, so we do have the bathrooms. We have 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, and then the study. That could also be another bedroom, but I didn't want to make it a bedroom in the build because it isn't super big. And I really didn't want to do a toddler bedroom because there's not much for toddlers to do in the base game. So yeah, I didn't want to do a toddler bedroom. It just didn't fit with, you know, the idea for the Sims that I had in my head. So yeah, there's a master bedroom, there's a teenager's room, at least I thought it would be for a teenager, and then there's an office that could be a 3rd bedroom, and then just a big backyard. I actually ended up giving them a pool, and a couple of planter boxes because there's not many activities in the base game, but I did include a chess table outside. There's a couple of like musical instruments in the office. And then the teen also has an easel in their bedroom. So yeah, there is a few skill building items. The teen also has a laptop in their room as well. So yeah, there's a couple of different skill building items in the game. Not in the game, in the build. And yeah, obviously you can add, you know, more skill items depending on whatever packs you have and stuff like that. So yeah, it is up on the gallery, like I said, if you want to download it, and if you want to, you know, change up the bedrooms or change up the house to fit with whatever Sims you're playing with, then obviously, like always, you're totally free to do that. Just don't re-upload it and claim it as your own. But other than that, you're free to like renovate it for your Sims, you know, to whatever degree you want. And it's also built on a 30x20 lot. That's also something I wanted to mention. Now, I think that's everything. I keep saying I think that's everything about the build, but I really do think that's everything about the build this time. So yeah, back to, or like onto more random topics. Also, I wanted to say happy spooky season. I haven't mentioned that. I should have probably said that at the beginning of this video. But this is the first video of October that's going up. So happy spooky season. I will have a couple of fun, like, not necessarily Halloween themed builds, but maybe more just some fall themed builds out on the channel in, you know, maybe one this week. This week is a little bit hectic, so I don't think it will be this week, but maybe next week. And, you know, there's still all of October left. So yeah, I will have a couple of fun kind of Halloween / spooky / fall kind of videos out. I mean, it's not fall where I am right now. It's not autumn. It's actually spring. So yeah, I will probably have a spring build out at some point as well because I really want to do one. So yeah, I will probably do that at some point. But yeah, we'll have a couple of more autumnal / spooky builds out at some point if that's something that you're looking forward to. And if it is something that you really like, if you do want to go ahead and check out some spooky builds, I do actually have a playlist here on the channel that I'll leave on the screen and in the description, where I have all of my like previous spooky / Halloween kind of builds. I have, I think, 8 or so of them that I did over the course of like last year, 2019, and I think 2018 as well. So yeah, I will leave that playlist listed in the description and on the screen if you want to go ahead and check out some of my older spooky builds. There are a couple of them that I absolutely adore, so yeah, definitely go ahead and check that out. And then I actually have a fun collab planned for the 31st of October, so actually on Halloween Day. That collab will actually be going out. I'm not going to tell you any more about it. I'm not going to tell you who it's with until a little bit later on. But yeah, that's something that I'm really looking forward to. I've looked up to this creator for so long. I absolutely adore her builds. She's so talented. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to actually sharing that and talking about it a little bit more. But yeah, so as you can see, we're actually in the study / office now. I know I said I was done talking about the build, but I do just want to point out what I did with the shelves and the table and everything like that. Everything should be functional in here. Like I said, I playtested it, so unless something moves when you download this, it should all be fine. But yeah, sometimes some things in the game can work one moment and the next it just doesn't. So yeah, if there's something that doesn't work, then just delete a few of the clutter items maybe that'll help. But yeah, it should all be fine. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to point out. Now, something else that isn't really channel related, but it is kind of community related, or like my community related. If you've watched my videos for a long time now, you know that I absolutely love interacting with all of you. I love reading your comments, responding to them, you know, talking to you over on Twitter. I'm super active over on Twitter and even on Instagram as well. So if you're not following me on both of those yet, I will leave in the description a link to both my Instagram and Twitter. They're in all of the descriptions of my videos. But yeah, definitely go and follow me over on there if you're someone that's like really active on social media and you want to be like more interactive in the community. But speaking of like being more interactive, something that I really wanted to do, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for forever and I just never got around to it, is I really want to like start a Discord server for the channel and for my community, for us to like get to know each other a little bit better, talk, you know, maybe share some building tips, you know, where you can ask me if you're like wondering about, you know, tips and tricks and all of that stuff. Maybe have like a CC corner, because I absolutely adore custom content like build, create a sim, everything like that. So yeah, just have a Discord server with a bunch of fun different like channels in it, and just a place for us to be a little bit more interactive, because that's something that I would love to start more on and be more, I guess, I don't know, active with, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's something that I really want to do. So if that's something that any of you guys would be interested in, then let me know down in the description, because, not in the description, in the comments, because yeah, I would love to get your input on that. If you're someone that, do you use Discord? I know a lot of people are on Discord like a lot, myself included. I'm in a bunch of different servers from people that I know, people that I watch, all of that different stuff, and I'm not always like super talkative in those servers, but I end up just lurking a lot of the time. But yeah, I really want to start my own and start one for our little community, because we are growing. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers here on the channel, which at the time I'm recording this, I think we're at 4,800 and something, which is just a incredibly big number to me. And yeah, it's amazing and mind-blowing, and I do want to thank you guys so much for that, because it's really amazing, and the channel has been growing faster than I could have ever imagined. So yeah, I'm really thankful for that. I know I've had this channel for like 3 years almost. It will be 3 years next February. But not 3 years, 4 years, my word. Yeah, no, it will be 4 years next February, which, you know, almost 5,000 subscribers in 4 years might not sound like a lot to some people. But, you know, in the simming community, this community is so big. There are so many of us. There are so many creators and people that post YouTube videos about gaming and The Sims in particular, that, you know, that amount, just thinking about having 5,000 people like in a room or in a stadium is mind-blowing to me, because that's how many of you there are. So yeah, it's actually a very big number if you think about it. But yeah, I just want to say wow, I can't speak. I just want to say thank you so much for almost 5,000 subscribers. And yeah, I want to connect a little bit more with you guys. So that's kind of why I want to start the Discord. And also because I do have channel memberships set up here on the channel, so I kind of thought that would be a nice little extra benefit for channel members, to maybe have a little like separate Discord role in the server for channel members, and have maybe like our own little like almost secret kind of special channel for just channel members that only we can access. And then also I really want to start up my Twitch channel again, which, if you didn't know, I used to do a little bit of streaming for a couple of months in, I think, the end of 2019, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But I did do a little bit of Twitch streaming, and then at some point some like real life stuff just got in the way and I wasn't able to continue it. So I really want to start that back up again. As you know, if you follow me on Twitter and stuff, I've been changing my like setup and everything like that. Like, I've actually gotten a webcam because I really want to do face cam videos and actually stream with a face cam sometimes as well. And it's been a whole process, but I really want to start streaming back up again, is my whole point of this ramble. And because I am a Twitch affiliate, I can have like Twitch subs as well. So I thought, you know, the channel members and the Twitch subs could kind of have access to that same like Discord role and like the same channel, and maybe some like other fun benefits like playing games together, or you know, stuff like that, because that's something that I really want to start doing more of as well. And once I start up Twitch, like start back up with my Twitch, then that's something that I would really like to do a lot more of as well. So like playing games with friends, like, I don't know, I really want to play Phasmophobia, but I feel like that's something that I would scare myself, wow, I can't speak. I would scare myself pooless, I think, if I played Phasmophobia. It's something that I love watching. I just don't think it's something that I could ever play, but that could actually be really fun to try and play that with a couple of friends. Maybe something like Forewarned as well. That's another game that seems like so much fun to play because I've been obsessed with watching it. But again, it's one of those games where it's kind of like a horror game, so I would probably scare myself like pooless trying to actually play it. But again, that would be like entertaining content in and of itself. So yeah, that's just stuff that I have planned. So yeah, obviously that would be within the next maybe like few months and everything like that. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts down below if that's something that you would be interested in, like the Discord server. And you know, when I start streaming again, do you guys want me to actually like announce that here on the channel? I mean, I'll probably talk about it in videos because it's me and I end up talking about anything and everything in my videos. But yeah, I'll probably mention it like in passing. But if you follow me over on Twitter, definitely do that, because I will obviously talk about all of this stuff a lot more in depth on Twitter and on Instagram. And it's also the best way for you to kind of like stay up to date with me and with what's going on with the channel, and you know, when I'll start streaming again, you know, schedules, all of that stuff, video stuff as well. At the moment, I don't really have a set schedule, but it's something that I would really like to have. So yeah, I mean, definitely just follow me over on Twitter or Instagram, and if you want to stay up to date, I guess, with what's going on channel wise. And yeah, that's basically everything that I wanted to say, I think. I mean, we still have about 2 minutes left of this video, so I don't really know what else to talk about. But yeah, if you guys have any bold suggestions as well, I always love hearing your bold suggestions, because I do actually write all of them down. And even though I might not actually start building them, or you might not see them on the channel for sometimes months, I do actually keep a running like list of what builds I want to work on. So all of the ideas that you give me, all of the ideas that randomly pop into my head throughout the day, I write all of them down. And you know, when I go to sit down and do building, and like build stuff or record something or whatever, I'll look at the list and I'll see, you know, what I'm actually in the mood to build, because that's something that I found that I really have to pay attention to when I record. Is I need to do something that sounds interesting to me in the moment. Otherwise, I will get so bored and I just don't have the ability to focus on something if it's boring to me. If I find something is boring to me, I'll completely zone out and I won't be able to concentrate on a single thing that I'm doing. So I have to actually record stuff that's fun and that sounds interesting to me in the moment. So that's why my save file is taking me 7 centuries to get done, because I only have maybe like 4 builds left to do for the first version of it, and then Oasis Springs and Willow Creek will be done. But to get those 4 builds done, I actually need to be inspired and in the mood to actually finish those builds, because they're rather big builds. So it does take me a lot of time to do like bigger builds as well. So it's just something that I'm really not someone that can like work on something if it's boring to me, or if it's like just too repetitive or stuff like that. I just can't. For some reason, I can't force that, because it just never works. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this build and my rambling. If you did enjoy the build, give the video a like, and if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see some more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and remember to turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. But I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone!
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away? Show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. How come the trees get undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes, until winter comes. It really makes me wonder.